Switch over to the women. Feel like they've been gifted golden hour opportunity here. There's 38 minutes left on the clock. Chris Cote here with Matt Chinoski, the Waxhead. No waves ridden yet, but I see some action on the outside. This is a good sign that we're about to fire this final.
Oh wow, look at this set wave, and this is something Johnny in that last heat would have been praying for, and it's Sophia Culhane with the first wave of this final.
Sophia Culhane there, coming down the line, gets around that big section with tons of speed, now cutting back. Wave is forming up nicely through to the inside for Sophia. Kelis out the back had a look, but it was a no-go. This is just a little freight trainer. Thing has had a solid face on it from the outside. Now she comes into this little racetrack section. This wave is hugging the rocks perfectly. She's been dancing all over this Michael Takayama surfboard. Cross-stepping up. It's just wonderful flow from the very beginning of this wave all the way through towards the rock. She's still going. She's going to get out clean. So the scores are just kind of starting to filter in. They're looking pretty close. And here's a look back at the opening exchange. Sophia Culhane got a 6. Kelis Kaleopaa a 5.83. Love an even start to this final.
And it was just that power surfing from Sophia that sets up her nose riding. I've said it time and time again, when we do see these opening carves, it sets up Sophia's nose riding. She has delicate feet and very precise footwork, but when she gets to those turns, that's when we see the best. So opening up the best of that exchange, terrific wave selection, but a missed opportunity for Kelis. There was a wave behind that she couldn't get into that ended up making her wave very, very foamy.
As with always, we just see such a wonderful demonstration of the role of footwork in longboarding. The way that Sophia is just using those cross steps to keep that board in trim.
See Kelis Kaleopaa. Foamy start on this one, but sometimes these can be pretty deceiving. It looks like she might be on a bit of a grower.
Yeah, right in between Sophia's wave, there was one, and between this, that was leaving all the foam. So I think a missed opportunity with a great wave that broke in front, but she gets on the nose. And a critical section there just trimming through, but very, very foamy. Carving that one through, and a little snap, so that reverberation from the higher tide starting to make its impact, and she realizes there's a few bumps and lumps in that, so she pulls out. She'll try and grab priority, so she has the choice of the next set.
But like Kelis, a great example, an exemplar of clean, critical footwork.
And I think this is a pretty cool testament to Kelis's abilities. This wave, not nearly as good as the wave Sophia got, but she still was able to pretty much match that score that Culhane got in her opening wave. You know, and she did get some critical, cool-looking sections in there, but it was a really foamy wave, hard to ride. She made full use of it, and a 5.83 to start for Kelis. And both surfers now back in the takeoff zone, and here we go. Kelis does get the better of the paddle back out, gets priority, finds this little gem of a wave, and with some bump moving up the face, she just has this amazing ability to weave her way almost between the bumps. She doesn't go straight over them, she's kind of carving around.
Yeah, and they saw that there was rideable waves on their shorelines, and of course it resonates so widely, this impact, this positive impact of Hawaiian surf culture.
Second wave here, Sophia Culhane. Her first was a 6. It was a 6-6. It was a great wave. And now she's right back into it. Could have a good inside track to work with here. She's reading this wave really well.
Yeah, we just talked about the use of the hips, but another thing that the Hawaiians are really good at is linking the reforms and the way that they use the board to their advantage, the speed pockets. This is very similar to what they have to do in Waikiki as well, linking the sections of the different parts of the reef and the tides, dodging tourists as well, and putting themselves in uncomfortable positions in order just to make a reform. And that she does so well. All the way through the inside, gets a little 10 and trimming through, just trying to consolidate that 6-point ride. And at this point, just chasing a 2.33, and she's done that and some.
I love that you brought that up, because of the image of queens in my mind, I kind of see that traditional straight style surfing, right? In the whitewater, just going straight towards the beach.
See, just gliding, standing up on the top of that wave to make use of the pocket, so no fade turn or any type of bottom turn, jumping straight to the nose, so scoring points from the outset. This wave likely won't go excellent, but good surfing nonetheless, and a combination of rail and nose riding. You'll see here Sophia linking with those delicate feet moving up and down the board. That's the footwork part of the criteria. Style, flow and grace is all relevant to the surfer's body language and its economy of movement. Sometimes less is more, but that doesn't mean you can't put power in. You have to be efficient with where you put the board, because of course critical maneuvers are the scoring part of this wave. And she gets 5-10, the wave letting her down a little bit, but the surfing, very talented. A little bit of poise there from Sophia. You can see her looking down the line and casting her vision. I was a little bit concerned the first day we got here. We chatted and I said, how's it? Looks great. She said, oh, it's a little bit awkward. And I thought that was in her head, but not to be fooled. She's just locked in the 5.63 and she's in the lead.
Now Kelis has a chance to answer back. A great nose ride to start this wave. Quick little fade there. Got a good line on it as she makes her way through to the mid portion of this wave. Back on the nose, all 10 over, real quick. Now she's going to cruise back down the line, just easily navigating over and around those bumps in front of her. Big carve there, and that wave kind of dissipates beneath her, but she did some solid footwork, got a couple nose rides on the outside. It might not be a perfect 10, but it's definitely going to be an impactful score because she's trying to get rid of a 2.5 and most likely a 5.83.
We see it set up here. She gets that nice setup with the 6 steps into a 5, and then she readjusts just a little bit of her line but stays high and gets back up for a second nose ride here. And this time is when she gets the 10. And see how she gets 5, 10, stalls, and when she walks out of it, you can see that burst of acceleration. Rabbit K.Kaleopaa at Waikiki was one of the pioneers of, really exploring the capabilities of accelerating, speeding up, slowing down by using footwork and nose ride. It looks like a nice wave here, Chris, for Sophia. She's looking to wash off that 5.63 straight in for a nice nose ride. Look at the strength and the composure to deal with that chop, and she's still up and riding. This has got a lot of potential.
Yeah, being honest with yourselves, 99.9% of the surfing world would have fallen off on that takeoff. Her nose went completely underwater. She regained her control and composure. Now she's cross-stepping on a left. Bit of a rarity. Fades right again. Now she's basically foiling. But that's over. So a little shortened ride for Sophia Culhane. Her last score is a 5.63. We'll see where that fits into the equation. Sophia Culhane now in control.
Nice high line for Sophia there. Straight into a nose ride. Bowley section, Chris. Looks like a good score of this, and beautiful sweeping cutback.
Yeah, that was exactly how you want to start. Nose ride to a big turn. Nice pocket to work with here for Sophia. Just keep your eyes on the footwork. Cross-stepping closer to the nose. There's 5 over. Just a peek. She'll get around this section. And she's got a kind of a great visual of what this wave is going to do in front of her. Now she gets back to the nose. 5 over. Quickly. Big turn back. This wave's fast track to the rocks. She's not thinking about dings or slamming onto those rocks. She's thinking about maximizing the potential of this wave.
In contrast, Sophia's wave Bowley on the takeoff there. Gets a touch of the 5 and a beautiful down carve sweeping turn and coming off the bottom to set a line in the middle of the wave with speed, and then she walks back and then comes into the bowl section. This is where she sees it running ahead, so she just keeps that board moving with a quick touch of the 5, but recognizes that she's just got to navigate that trim line there, a little bit of bounce, a little bit of chop. She drops a 7.5 for this ride. Kicked off with that opening 5, and that beautiful turn, I think, at the start was really the important halo maneuver that garnered that big score. She finishes off in style, riding all the way through to the inside, keeping her eyes on the nose ride section, setting up one more time, 2 steps, kicks out. This is Kelis's ride, sets herself up nice and high, 6 into a 10, walks out of the 10 into a 5, and then back on a high line with some cross-stepping, staying in trim, back up for a second, quick touch of the 5, walks back, and then sets herself up once again with footwork for a third hang 5, so a really long hang 5 on that section, and then sweeps it back and uses footwork once again, coming to the middle of the wave, cutting back, again using all of that footwork. And this is the point where she gets a little nice critical 5 right through the inside, but recognizes that she might be able to get an advantage on the paddle battle after this big sweeping turn kicks out.
We know how good Kelis is. Sophia, of course, knows how good Kelis is. She surfs her all the time. And here we go. This is Kelis Kaleopaa from Waikiki, needing a 7-1-1. Quick look at the nose, and then a big carve there. She's got to hope that this wave provides a little bit of punch to keep her forward momentum going. It does not. Kind of just rolled out underneath her, so that's going to be a no-go. Will not be the 7-1-1. And now time is starting to fly. It's running away from us. 1:35 to go. Classic has 41 seconds left. Sophia Culhane does have priority, so she can hold off Kelis on this wave. She's going to exercise her freedom of choice. This wave kind of crumbling around her. There was a little bump out the back for Kelis, so don't take your eyes off the water yet.
Look over her shoulder to see.
She hasn't done any tricks or any maneuvers on this wave. Waikiki represent. Give it up for the teenager, Sophia Culhane, coming through with a victory at the last stop on the WSL Championship Longboard Tour. The Surf City El Salvador Longboard Classic champion, Sophia Culhane.
Fantastic result, but having done some maths, Kelis Kaleopaa will be the #1 seed going into the original Sprout Malibu Longboard Championship, but going to do some working out so we can find out where Sophia will sit, because this is a massive result for her, taking the win, and you can see the joy.